So in this video, we're going to start into our programming. This is for lesson 3, but we can't go to lesson 3 without exploring a little in lesson 2. In lesson 2, it asks you to draw on this coordinate plane, and you can see down here there's this show grid button. Now, the x-axis in gaming works just like it would in a coordinate graph. So we have 0 to 400 on the x-axis, but the y-axis, if we're moving down on a coordinate graph in math class, would be a negative number. But in gaming in this screen, uh, they actually make that a positive number. So the y value is flipped to a positive one. So if you can see, if I'm just going to grab a box and put it here, I am at 200 on my x. But if I look at my y would be probably about 250 here. You can see the coordinates showing up at the bottom there, and it would be a positive number. So keeping that in mind, we're going to go into our lesson 3. I'm in bubble 4 here. And what they're asking you for in this one is to put your squares in the corner. Now, you can have your blocks, show blocks here, or show text. I find it easier to work in the text here. So I need 2 rectangles. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this and paste it below. So I now have 2 rectangles. Where do I want them on the x and the y? If I hover up here, my first one, I want to start on 0 on the x and 0 on the y. So I can reset and run that, and I can see that is placed there. If I hover here, which is where the second one wants to go on this one, you can see I want to be x 350, y 350. So I'm going to type in 350 and 350. I can reset and run, and you can see I have my blocks there as well now. Now you can also drag in your block into this and it'll bring it in text. I find it's a lot easier to replicate and see the code in the text format. If you need to work in the blocks, feel free to do so. So in this next problem, which is bubble 6, we have 2 blues and we need 3 yellows. So I'm just going to come in, I'm going to duplicate this coding, which is for our rectangles. And we can see we need a third one here. If I hover over here, we're 100 on the x, 200 on the y. So I'm going to come 100 on the x and 200 on the y. I'm going to run that, and we can see I now fit that pattern. Now the fill command, I'm going to change to yellow. What fill means on this is fill means to fill in your shapes here. So I'm filling yellow to these rectangular shapes, and now I'm going to click run, and we can see that we now have yellow. I'm going to jump ahead to box 7 now. You can see I'm going to run this. I have a red and a green, and they're overlapping. I want to switch these on the overlap. So I'm going to simply do this. Order matters on this. So I'm going to cut lines 3 and 4 with the Control X key. And then I'm going to open up the line above it and Control V. Now what you're going to see is the order flips. So the program is going to lay these down in the order that it's coded. I can simply come up here now to green, and I can have that change because I have the fill, and actually I'm saying fill green here and then fill red here. So I actually put it in the wrong spot. So I'm going to change that green here back to blue, and this is where I want my green. So now I'm going to run that program, and we're all set.